Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. We're talking fantasy today. Guys, it was a wild game of turkey games. There was a lot of good games, in my opinion. The Cowboys, the Vikings, etc. There were a lot of good games. I had a lot of fun watching them. Quick off the bat, Isaiah McKenzie, Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry. These are all big guys that had a lot of points. Isaiah McKenzie, like, very much so. He had 22 points. Amon St. Brown, I think he had 28 points. There's a lot of guys that popped off and put up some good points for your fantasy team. So I'm hoping that going into this Sunday, you guys are already are ahead of your matchup. You already got the win locked in. Maybe some of you guys already have Lime time already. That would be amazing. But there's a lot of good games so far, and there's already been 3 games going into Sunday. So this is a little bit weird. You probably already are locked in on some of your positions because you already started somebody or somebody's already played. But we're here to give you all the last minute advice as far as your startums, situms, all that type of stuff. And let's get right into the questions. We're coming in hot. Liam says, start 1. Latavius Murray, Juju, Pacheco, Hollywood, or DJ Moore, half PPR. Vincent, what do you think?
Ooh, half PPR. That is an interesting one because Pacheco, he's done decently well. So even in like a non-half or like even in a non-PPR, he's just getting yards. So with half PPR, I'd probably either say I think maybe even Latavius Murray or Pacheco is a start here. I'm not too sure about Hollywood. I'm not too sure how much he's going to play or how much he's going to get into that game. And then, Juju sometimes is good, but sometimes he just doesn't get any yards. And DJ Moore has been kind of silent lately. He's wishy-washy. So for me, it's either Latavius Murray or Pacheco. But right now, I think I like Pacheco just because they have been utilizing him more. But Latavius Murray is definitely the sleeper there.
I like it. I'm going Pacheco also. There's a lot of injuries on Kansas City Chiefs, and they're using anybody that they can. And Pacheco is the main guy right now. Everybody else is hurt. He's going to see a lot of touches, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
All right, Randy Miller says, welcome back to the stream, Randy, by the way. And also you, Liam. Thank you guys for returning. We really appreciate you guys immediately joining right as we started. I know you guys got that bell on. I know you guys got that bell on. We appreciate it. We thank you guys so much. So he says, Dulcich or McBride? PPR. Ooh, this is a good one.
That's hard, man, because I have Dulcich on one of my leagues, and I've had him on the bench for the past 2 weeks after the first time I put him in, and he only got me like 4 points. I was kind of mad, but he hasn't been used a lot lately, and I've been surprised by it because before he was Russell Wilson's main guy. He was dunking it to him every time he could so he didn't get sacked. But lately he's been quiet. And McBride, he's coming in because Ertz is hurt. I kind of like him. He did play some the last time that Ertz was out for a couple weeks, and he did good. Him and another guy named Williams, I forgot his first name, but he was also a tight end there for the Cardinals last year. So both of those guys are just like plug and play. I'm not 100% sure on who the Cardinals play this week. I don't have my little stat sheet out right now. But McBride, I'd probably say, is better than Dulcich, unless Dulcich miraculously comes back and has the game of his life with Russell Wilson again, which I don't see happening. I think McBride is the start here for sure.
I like it. All right, Randy, with another question: Steelers D versus Indianapolis Colts, or the Ravens D versus Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to take this one right off the bat. I'm going to say Steelers D versus Indiana.
Yeah.
There's 100% chance this is a low-scoring game with multiple turnovers, in my opinion. There's no way I think the Colts are going to put up a lot of points. Jonathan Taylor will have a good game, obviously. That's just who he is right now. But they're not going to put up a lot of points. Ravens versus Jacksonville, that can potentially be in the 20-point range, in my opinion, depending on how the game goes. But I think Steelers D is an absolute lock for me.
I would agree, man.
All right. Abraham Pena, welcome back, man. We appreciate you being here. He says, "What's up, guys? What's up to you, man?" Charlie Nugent, half PPR, Christian Watson or Paris Campbell. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs is out again this week. So he's going to see a lot of touches. I'm personally, me being a biased Packer fan, I'm going Christian Watson. What do you think, Vincent?
Dude, I would agree, honestly. Paris Campbell is another guy who is, he comes in and he does amazing, and then just the next week he's back to reality.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, Christian Watson is the safe here. He's been scoring touchdowns like left and right every time he plays when Romeo Dobbs is out. So I think that trend continues. I'm not going to say he's going to get 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns, maybe 1, and then quite a bit of yards because he is a main target now. He even outshined Allen Lazard this past game, and I believe the game before that. So I think Christian Watson is the new number 1 receiver, and I definitely agree with Reed here. I don't think he's being biased whatsoever.
All right, I appreciate it. CB, hey guys, what's up, CB? Welcome back. Need Fletz, PPR, Lockett, Chubb, and Pierce. Vincent, what do you think?
Oh man, it might be a little bit biased here, but I like Lockett. He's been consistent lately. I don't think he's had a game in the past 3 weeks where he's been below 14 points. Chubb is, in and out. He's been playing decently. The Browns have been resorting to the pass more often than not. So Chubb is kind of not getting all the love that he did in the beginning of the season. And Dameon Pierce is pretty consistent too as well. So I think here I would go either Lockett or Pierce. I don't think any of those guys is a bad start, but in my opinion, I would go Lockett, Pierce, and then Chubb, just because of the way the trends have been going. And then, but those are 3 good guys to have. I've been looking at schedules for the playoff rounds, and Lockett is a good guy to have. Chubb maybe not so much because he does have some hard matchups here and there. I think he goes against the 8th, 9th, 4th, and 19th ranked defense in those last 4 weeks for playoffs. So that'll be a tough stretch, but I think he can get through it. But Dameon Pierce as well, he does have a decent schedule. He has the 23rd, 6th, 22nd, and 16th ranked defense in those last 4 weeks. So those are 3 great guys to have. They're going to be point busters. But yeah, I think Lockett, Pierce, and then Chubb is my order for this week.
I like it. I've been writing Lockett for a long time now. Yeah. He's been very good for me in my fantasy league. Abraham, back with another question. Do you think Sutton is a start over Terry or Pittman?
Ooh,
I wouldn't start anybody. A lot of people out over Terry, in my opinion.
Yeah, right now Terry's been super consistent. I know, Reed, you have him in one of your leagues, and he's been a starter the entire season for you, I believe. Terry is just good and consistent right now. Heineke really loves the guy. He's been passing his way most likely more than not. And then Pittman, he's been doing decent. He had a good week this past week in week 11. But before that, he was kind of up and down again. The Colts offense isn't the best. JT is getting fed a little bit more now. So if I were to start Sutton, which I would not, honestly, I don't like Sutton, but he is the main guy there as long as what's his name is out, Jared Jeudy.
Yeah.
I would say start him over Pittman. But
I like that.
Yeah, I like Terry and Sutton more than I like Terry and Pittman. I think Pittman could have another down week this week. But then again, I also could see Sutton having a down week. I don't believe in those Broncos right now. So
nobody does.
That's a hard one, man. But yeah, if anything, if you really believe in Sutton, I would put him over Pittman.
Yeah, definitely don't start him over Terry, in my opinion. Terry's just too consistent, in my opinion. Brandy says, appreciate all the advice, guys. Hey, we appreciate you, man. You guys tuning in every single week. It means a lot to us. If there's anybody in the chat that is not subscribed, guys, subscribe. You can see that we answer every single question in the chat. We pay attention to you guys. We will give you all of our best advice that we can. And if you guys, just hit 300 subscribers. We have not released the details on the giveaway just because it came around holiday time. Thanksgiving has been happening. We've been spending time with family. We've been spending time with family. We have work going on. Unfortunately, we have not been able to release the details for the giveaway, but we will be doing a giveaway. I believe we are doing a signed jersey from an NFL player. So pay attention. And you can enter by being subscribed, and that's one of the things you have to do if you want to enter into the giveaway. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Those details are coming soon. All right. Charlie says half PPR, Dulcich and Njoku. Okay, so this is a follow up of their other question. No,
Mhm.
this is somebody else. Someone's talking about Dulcich. Okay.
And Joki is coming back from an injury right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not. He did play last week. I know he got like around 4 or 5 points because I have him on one of my fantasies as well. But shoot, man, I may think Njoku is gonna come back and be the guy that he used to be before he got injured. So I think I'm gonna go Njoku here. Sorry, Dolchich, I know we're kind of trashing on you, but as of now, I just can't believe in that Broncos offense, and Dolchich hasn't been getting the love that he used to. So I think Njoku's the safer bet here. He might average the same amount of points as Dolchich this week, but I think Njoku has the way higher ceiling.
I like it. I will go Njoku also. Blue Crew, Traylon Burks or Randall Moore. Half PPR. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you for calling us gentlemen. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not as big of a Traylon Burks guy as a lot of people. I know he had a big game last week against the Packers, but a large percentage of those points came on that last what do you call it? To the end of the game, nobody cares about.
Trash drive.
Trash drive, or whatever, trash time. There we go. Where we were expecting a pass, Jerry Alexander got absolutely cooked. That wouldn't happen if he knew a pass was coming. In my opinion.
True.
My opinion.
Yeah, he was playing the run there. I did see that.
Yes.
That play.
Yeah. But I don't think he has that big of a game in my opinion. So for me, I'm going Rondale Moore, 100%. Vince.
Yeah, man. I mean, if Rondo Moore comes back healthy off that ankle or hamstring injury that he had when he went down that first play, I hated him last week because of that. But you can't predict that. It's stuff that is out of our hands. But Rondo Moore is the guy that's been getting love. So if he's healthy and he's playing in that wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 position, I think Rondo Moore is the guy to go with. But don't get me wrong, Traylon Burks may get a few catches here and there, but with half PPR, I think Rondale Moore is the guy to go with right now. Just make sure he is healthy for sure, though.
Yeah. Terry MC at Fletz or James Conner. My running back starting is Eckler and Jamal Williams right now. By the way, that you have a good running back 1 and running back 2, in my opinion. As far as flex, Vincent, what do you think?
I think I might go Terry McLaurin, bro. I know we talk about this all the time. We love guys that are consistent. So I think I might go Terry because he plays against Atlanta this week, and they're 31st against the pass. James Conner, I'm not 100% sure who he's playing against, but the Cardinals play against the Chargers. So the Chargers are not a good run defense as well. So I think anybody you start at that flex is good, but in my opinion, I'm going Terry. I think the Cardinals try to get back on track and they start passing the ball more and not giving it to James Conner as much. But good job on Eckler and Williams, man. I know Williams didn't do as he usually does this week. He got around 11 points, but that's still good for a running back 2 position. So, yeah, I think I might go Terry here. But James Conner is not a guy to sleep on lightly. So,
100% agree with Vincent here. Terry, but James Conner is good. Liam, is Zeke going to be touchdown dependent?
I don't know. The Cowboys are so wishy-washy with that stuff. I watched the entire game this past week because, it's sad to say, but it's never Thanksgiving unless the Cowboys game is on, no matter who you root for. So I sadly watched that game as I always do every year on Thanksgiving. And it was a decent game, I'm not going to lie. But Zeke right now, he's on and off. If he's not on, he's going to get the touchdown inside the red zone. He's going to get the touchdown because they don't give the ball to Pollard inside the 20 for some reason, unless it's a long pass or a long run. Then maybe they'll keep him in for the drive. But Zeke right now, whenever they get in the red zone, he's the guy they go with. He's the beefier guy. In my opinion, he reads the blocks better, but he doesn't elude the linebackers and corners better like Pollard does. But Zeke is the guy for touchdowns. In my opinion, it's kind of like that Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift type of thing with the Lions. It's just how the teams roll. Cowboys are weird. I like Pollard. I ask every Cowboy fan, they love Pollard more than Zeke at this moment. But Zeke right now is going to get most of the touchdowns, and Pollard will only get touchdowns when he's on fire like he did when he had that 30, 40-point game a couple weeks ago.
I like it. I would have to agree with Vincent here. All right, Trey S. Evening, gents. Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling us, gents. Full PPR, bench 1. ETN, Jeff Wilson, or Rachaad White. Wow, that's a hard one right there. I want to run them all, but CMC is my running back 1. Thanks and good luck this week. Thank you and good luck to you, sir. We're going to give you our best advice available. Bench 1. That is a hard one. I like all these guys right now. I like all. Leonard Fournette is out this week, so Rachaad White is the guy this week. Jeff Wilson, I can't remember exactly why a lot of people are reading him this week, but I remember there's something.
Raheem Mostert is injured. He's out.
Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson is a good start, and then ETN has been tearing it up all year long. AJ's been calling him a league winner for a while. I feel like. I don't know, Vincent. I can't decide here. Actually,
in my opinion, I think you bench Jeff Wilson. Okay. I like Rachaad White.
I like Rachaad White a lot.
I like that he's going to be the sole starter this week. So it's weird. This week is like apparently the week where everybody wanted to get hurt. That everybody is out on Thanksgiving. Double XP weekend, stuff like that, but in my opinion, I go ETN as your RB2, and I would go Rachaad White as the flex. Jeff Wilson for sure. I know he's going to get points. If you are discouraged by that, you can play Jeff Wilson, but I think Rachaad White will get more yardage, and he'll finally get those attempts inside the red zone since Leonard Fournette is out. So I think Rachaad White could have a big game this week. They will utilize him a lot, especially with all those injuries that they have on that team on the offense. But yeah, man, just like you said, you want to run them all, but we just can't. It sucks, but that's what happens when you have a stacked team coming into these last few weeks. So yeah, in my opinion, I go ETN and Rachaad White. Jeff Wilson and those Miami Dolphins, I think they utilize the pass more, and Jeff Wilson kind of disappears. But that's just my thing. So what do you think here, Reed?
I really want to go Jeff Wilson, but I won't put him over Rachaad White just because I think he's a must start. And as much as I want to say, like, oh, he could potentially have a better week than ETN, ETN's just too consistent. He's going to get you those points. Jeff Wilson's just too much of a wild card. And if I want to give you my best advice, I would say bench Jeff Wilson, in my opinion. So thank you, Trey, for the question. Moving on, Abraham Pena. Who do you guys think will make and win the Super Bowl? Also, who would you want to see in the Super Bowl? Packers fan here, hoping for a miracle. I don't think I knew you were a Packer fan, Abraham. If I did know that, then I apologize. I forgot. But hey, as a fellow Packer fan, I am hoping for a miracle too. But unless we somehow beat the Eagles, and we gotta like really show that we beat the Eagles, our chances are slim pickings. We gotta win out at this point. But as far as who will make and win the Super Bowl, I think the Bills have been the favorites for a while, but they have looked really bad recently this past few weeks, and Josh Allen has been playing absolutely terrible. Yeah, he's a great rushing threat, but he's been throwing, I think 13 interceptions these past like 4 weeks or something like that.
The most interceptions in the league. Right
yes, now. Dude. I mentioned this last during the offseason. I was like, hey, there's some of these games that Josh Allen is not playing well, and he turns the ball over. And a lot of people didn't want to listen to me, but he's been showing that he's dynamic. He can make any throw on the field. And he's an incredible rushing threat, but he's just inconsistent at times. And that's why I think I'm not gonna go with the Bills here. I think I'm going to go Chiefs. And I think I'm going to go Cowboys.
Wow, yeah. I have Cowboys on the one side because they're playing phenomenally right now. I think the NFC for sure is a stacked area. But right now, I in the beginning of the season, I picked the Eagles to win the division. But as it's going right now, I have a high chance of the Cowboys overtaking them. The Eagles just don't look good. The Bills just don't look that good anymore. There's teams out there that are making a resurgence right now, and they're going to slide into the playoffs. The 49ers look good too, so that's a tough one in the NFC. But AFC, yeah, I think Chiefs are the big dogs there. So I would agree with Reed here. I think the Chiefs and Cowboys, or I think it could possibly be another Chiefs and 49ers. It's just the way it's
49ers
looking.
49ers look very good also.
Yeah, as long as all those teams stay healthy, it's going to be a brawl to get to the Super Bowl this year.
I like it. I like it. CB, thank you guys. Hey, thank you, CB. We appreciate it. Abraham Pinion, I was leaning towards Pittman because they play the Steelers, who are 31st in pass defense. What do you think about playing him? I think this was against who was the other person? Did he ask this question earlier?
Yeah, he asked us with, I think it was McLaurin.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Sutton. It's Sutton or Pittman and Terry.
And Terry.
Yeah.
You know, Pittman could have a pop-off game against the Steelers. I just don't know, man. I like Terry McLaurin way too much. He's too consistent. He's gonna get you 13 plus points guaranteed. So if you feel like Pittman's gonna get you more than that, then go Pittman. But in my opinion, I'm just gonna go with McLaurin. I'm not gonna change from that. Even with the 31st in passing, you got to use those stats. It's good to use those type of stats, but at the end of the day, a good player is a good player. You got to start him.
Yeah, man, you got to go with trends here. That's why I agree with Reed here. Pittman is on and off. I know the past 2 weeks he got 12 points, but coming into this game and the way that JT has been running and the way that they've been using Paris Campbell and those other wide receivers, I don't think Indy passes it a lot this week. I think they run it down the Steelers' throat because it's going to be one of those games where it's pound it, pound it, pound it, and let's run that clock because we just want to beat the Steelers and get out of here. So I think JT has one of the games of his life here. Steelers are middle of the pack against running backs at this moment, and I think JT runs all over them. So I don't think Pittman gets too many options here. He's not going to get the opportunities that he wants. But if you have faith in Pittman, man, go for it. I just know that the past 6-7 weeks he hasn't gone above 15 points, I believe. So he's a guy with a high floor but a very low ceiling. The gap between him going higher than 15 points is very, very low.
I like it. Elite FC. Yeah, our corners are awful. Pittman wouldn't be a bad start, Abraham. Hey, he could work out. I'm still sticking with McLaurin. But Pittman, it's not the worst start ever. All right, here. Jeff Johnson. Who to flex? Palmer, Hollywood, R. White, or Latavius Murray? Full PPR. Who would you say has the highest ceiling out of the four? Out of the four, right there.
You know who it is, Reed.
Is it Rachaad White?
I think so, man. I think
it's either that or Murray.
Yeah, Rachaad White and Murray are almost dead even. I think Rachaad White has a little bit more just because of the team that he's on. Tom Brady's going to be passing it a lot, so people are going to be playing the pass because that's just how it is when people play the Bucs. But Rachaad White is going to get those touches, and he's going to get a lot of yards. I think his average right now is one of the highest in the NFL. He just doesn't have that many carries, so he's not compared to everybody like that. But Rachaad White gets a lot of yards every time he touches the ball. Like I said earlier, I think he's going to get touchdown consideration inside the red zone when they're there. But Latavius Murray is not a guy to sleep on either. The only thing I don't like is the offense that he's on, It's the Broncos. How long are they going to stay on the field? Can Latavius Murray use that offensive line and get the yards that he needs?
Melvin Gordon is gone, though.
It is true, yeah. He will get a lot of carries. I think this past game he got 21 carries while Melvin Gordon was there before they released him. But I just don't know, man. But yeah, I think those guys for sure have the highest ceiling, followed by Palmer and then Hollywood. Palmer, I don't think he has the game that he's been having the past 2 weeks, even though Keenan Allen is back. But I would say Rachaad White has the higher ceiling and then Latavius Murray, but they are close. That's a tough one.
I like it. Mike Evans or Kamara at flats?
Ooh. That's a tough
Hey, welcome back, Brian. I I think this is your first comment of this live stream, so appreciate you tuning in as always. One of our faithful for our fantasy videos, our fantasy live, so we appreciate it. I think I'm gonna go Mike Evans here.
Oof.
I need to look at matchups real quick. Give me
Yeah,
1
so
second.
Mike Evans plays the Cleveland Browns. I'm
Okay.
not too sure about Kamara. If he
Kamara, the
gets that one up.
Saints.
But
Saints.
I think I'm going to go Kamara here, even before seeing their matchup. Mike Evans right now hasn't been the hottest guy. It's been Godwin for the Buccaneers. So I think Kamara is the guy to start here at the flex position.
Oh, you're wrong here, Vince. They play the 49ers. Who do you change? Dude. Do you change now?
I don't know.
They're playing the Niners,
I'm still
dude.
Gonna stick with Kamara, bro. I think I still am. I think this you know how the Saints roll, bro. They're either gonna use Hill or they're gonna use Kamara. So it's a 50-50 there, but you know, I think I might bite the bullet here, and I'm gonna go with Kamara, even though they face the tough 49ers defense. But you know, Reed is here too. Reed is smart in fantasy. He makes the playoffs every single year somehow without adding anybody from.
I never do waiver wires. I have a good draft. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, Mike Evans is a guy for sure you could start. But we know, Brar, you have one of the best teams
in the world
right now. Probably your bench is stacked with guys like Mike Evans, Alvin Kamara, you know, ETN, people like that. Like you, I think whoever you start, you're still probably gonna win. But I'm going Kamara. Reed's going Mike Evans. We'll see who turns out to be correct this week for this one.
All right. Really quick, Brar says, haha, I'm at work and saw y'all live, so tuned in. Hey, we appreciate your dedication, but dude, don't get in trouble, man. All right. Don't get in trouble for us, man. But we appreciate you coming in live. We that's awesome, dude. We really appreciate your dedication and love for the podcast. CB, another question. Need tight end PPR. WW available. Who's WW?
Oh, I don't know who's talking about there.
I don't know. Maybe waiver wire. Okay, Komet, Hurst, McBride, Fant, Dulcich. Losing Goddard killed me.
Oh, yeah,
that's gonna hurt, man. I'm gonna go Cole Komet, right?
I don't know, man. The past 2 weeks he hasn't been the guy.
And then Justin Fields is hurt.
Yeah, man.
Never mind.
I think Hurst is the most consistent guy. I know this past week on week 11, he didn't get the best points, but you look at his points before that, and he's so consistent. So I think I'm going to go Hurst here, and a following second is going to be McBride, and then I'd probably go Fant. Just because we're going against the Raiders, I think we utilize Noah Fant a little bit more because our wide receivers are going to be matched up against some decent corners. So I think tight ends will have opportunities for the Seahawks, but I think I'm going to go Hurst, McBride, and Fant.
Okay. I forgot that Justin Fields is hurt because the Bears ran him into the ground. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go McBride, Hurst, and Fant, in my opinion.
Go for it, yeah.
Elite FC, appreciate gentlemen. Was struggling on who to pick. Hey, that's what we're here for, man. Just getting some other advice, getting some advice from other people. That's what helps you win these games, helps you win your matchups, and that's what we're here for, man. We appreciate helping you out, man. Elite FC again. Also, Titans D against Bengals or Panthers D against Denver. Oh, I don't like the Bengals offense is red hot without Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase comes back this week, does he not? Or is that
next possible? Week? Yeah, he's
possible. Okay, yeah. I think regardless, I think they're gonna be good, but yes, the Titans D limits them. They're not gonna just run all over that Titans D.
Yeah.
I think I would go Panthers D against Denver. I think that's a low scoring game.
I just don't like both of these because I don't believe in the Panthers defense at this moment. But yeah, I've been doubting Denver's offense almost the entire year.
Elite FC says Chase is out, and Mixon is technically out of this game also.
This is true, but we did see what's his name this past week. Their backup running back, I forgot his name. He scored 30 freaking points on 3 passing touchdowns. So, I mean, Joe Burrow's still hot, but yeah, man, this is a tough one for sure.
Yeah, with those two players being out, It
I
changes a
think
lot
you
of
go
things,
Titans.
especially Joe Mixon being out.
Yeah, I think you do go Titans here for sure.
I think I'm gonna stick to my guns with Panthers defense.
Go for it, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Titans here just because of those injuries. I don't think they are gonna score some points, but I can also see the Titans getting some turnovers here and there and limiting the Bengals. But I still think the Bengals might uh, get some points up there. So you never know. Maybe we should go with Reed's Panthers here.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The Bengals could absolutely boom like they've been doing, or they could have a bad week this week.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Panthers D because I know Denver ain't gonna do well.
Yeah, you can probably bet on that.
You can bet on that. Michael, thank you for joining. Non PPR bench one. Keenan Allen, T. Higgins, or Amari Cooper. Also, Jeff Wilson or Rashad White this week. So, two questions here. First one off the bat benching one, Keenan Allen, T. Higgins, or Amari Cooper. This is the last week without Deshaun Watson for Amari Cooper. I think he has a good game. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams is out, so he's going to be the main person there. And T. Higgins, Jamar Chase is out, Joe Mixon is out. Ooh, I think I'm on this bench.
I think I might bench Keenan Allen, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Last week, I mean, Palmer did amazing last week, so that limited Keenan Allen. But Keenan Allen coming off injuries, he only lasts a few weeks until another injury pops up when he is injury prone. So I'm not saying that Keenan Allen's going to get hurt, but I think Keenan Allen is not 100% yet, even though he said he's not coming back until he is. So I think I just like T. Higgins too much. He's a top 15 wide receiver right now, and Amari Cooper is as well. They're both playing well. I think Amari Cooper does pretty well. I think this past week in week 11, he scored like 30 points. So he's been doing well as well. And T. Higgins, yeah, I think I'm going to go Keenan Allen there. I don't know. I just have a feeling Keenan Allen won't be the guy this week.
Okay.
And then he says also Jeff Wilson or Rashad. We've already had this dilemma in the questions here. I said Rashad White, but I can definitely see Jeff Wilson going off against that weak defense. I think they played the freaking Texans or something like that. So
they played the Texans.
Yeah, so I can definitely see Jeff Wilson going off, but I also think that sometimes the Texans have some people's numbers. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm saying that they might hold them down. But that's another hard one. I think if you have that problem, that's a good problem to have. So yeah. I think either guy you start is going to be a good one. But I like Rashad White. I think it's great that he's going to be the lone back. Or no, he's actually not going to be the lone back. He's one of the good backs there. So I like the way they're utilizing him. I think just 2 games ago he had 100 yards rushing. So I like Rashad White, but Jeff Wilson is also a good start.
I like it. I would agree with Vince. I'm between Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen to bench. T. Higgins a must start. I'm gonna bench Keenan Allen, and then Jeff Wilson, Rashad White. I'm also gonna go Rashad White. So agreeing with Vincent here. We've been agreeing way too much. I don't like agreeing with you. Kyrie, I believe this is your first time in the chat. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vince. So welcome to the NSP. Hit that subscribe button if you like what I see. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow. And we're also doing a giveaway soon for a signed NFL jersey. So you want to subscribe for that, and you can stay up to date with all of our content. We try to post almost every single day. We're close to that, but work gets in our way. But hit that subscribe button if you feel compelled. I just got offered a trade. He'll give me Mike Evans for T. Higgins. Do I accept? I'm looking at Mike Evans, what he's been doing recently. Vincent knows this by heart, probably. I think I'm gonna go. I say yes. No, wait. For T. No. I wouldn't say. I would say no.
So he's gonna get Mike Evans, but he's giving away T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing here. I know you are a guy in a winning league right now, and you're looking at the playoff schedule for the end. At this point, if Jamar Chase comes back and he's the dominant guy, they have a great schedule. The Bengals have a great schedule for their wide receivers. They go against the 15th, 10th, 24th, and 26th ranked defense in the last 4 weeks for playoffs. So that's week 15 all the way to week 18. So if you are in the playoffs, I don't think T. Higgins will be the guy. I think it will be Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd in the slot. T. Higgins will get his own, but he won't be the guy who's going to win you your league. I think Mike Evans and Godwin, although they have a little bit of a tougher schedule with the 6th, 14th, 22nd, but then the 31st in the championship week, I think he gives you the best opportunity to go ahead and win your league. So I think it's a pretty even trade. Mike Evans is about the 20th ranked wide receiver, depending on your league and the stats. And I would say T. Higgins is around the 18th, 17th ranked wide receiver. So I think it's a pretty even trade. But I think Mike Evans has the possibility of booming more than T. Higgins will. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, so I think it's a good trade. But if you stick with T. Higgins, it's also pretty darn good because they have a good schedule at the end of the year.
All right. I like what you're saying, Vince, but for me, I'm going to stick with T. Higgins. The only thing that could hurt him is Jamar Chase coming back. But I like T. Higgins, and I think he's been more consistent as far as recently than Mike Evans, in my opinion. Trey S. I appreciate it, fellas. Hey, we appreciate you. I hope I think we told him to bench Jeff Wilson over ETN or Rashad White. So I hope that works out for you, man. I'll be paying attention, and hey, I believe it. I believe it. I know it's going to work out for you. Abraham Pena. I'm going to start Terry at my wide receiver 2 and Pittman in my flats, or would you start Sanders over Pittman? This is going off of what we were trying to decide over Terry or Pittman. So starting both of them, I think that's your best bet. Sanders, as we said, Pittman he's going against the Steelers defense. So I think he's a better start over Sanders.
Yeah, man. Sanders is going against the Green Bay Packers, but the past 2 weeks he hasn't been the guy. He's only scored 5 points, and those are against. Oh, he faced Indy the week before, and he only got 5 points. So right now, I don't think Sanders will be better than Pittman. I think Pittman will be the guy who gets you about 10 to 12 points. Like I said, he hasn't scored over 15 points since like week 7, week 8. So it's been a while. But yeah, I think you're good there.
All right, Frankie Martinez, welcome to the live stream, man. Who should I start? Christian Kirk, Metcalf, or Ayuk? One of these would be wide receiver 2, and the other would be flex. So you need two. You need 2 to start, basically. That's what you're asking, I believe. Christian Kirk, Metcalf, or Ayuk. How's Metcalf been doing recently, Vince? On top of your head.
He's been doing pretty consistent. He's not better than Tyler Lockett, though. So, in my opinion here, I'm going Christian Kirk and Ayuk.
Really?
Yeah. I do like DK, and I like what he's been doing in the past few weeks, but I think Christian Kirk has the opportunity to go above the 13, 14 points that DK Metcalf usually gets, but Ayuk has been booming. So, I think Ayuk has the higher ceiling here for sure. But I also think that Christian Kirk will get a little bit more points than Metcalf at this point.
All right. I like that, Vincent. Personally, I'm going to go Christian Kirk and Metcalf. Ayuk, he's been doing really, really well these past few weeks. No one expected him to be doing this well. And I think he's going to, this week, slide back into that role of catching a few passes and not getting these touchdowns. That's just my opinion. I would love to. Unfortunately, AJ is not here, so maybe he could have given us a little bit more insight here as far as where he feels about Ayuk, in my opinion. But I would go Christian Kirk, Metcalf, just because I think those are more consistent guys, in my opinion. Christian Kirk, 100%, that should be your wide receiver 2, and I would put Metcalf in your flats. But
yeah, man, I just looked right now. Yeah. Christian Kirk had 31 freaking points last week.
Jeez, man. Hey, he's earning that contract. Good for him. Yeah. Good for him. KJ, welcome back to the live stream, man. Appreciate you coming back. With heavy rain expected in Cleveland, should I sit Amari Cooper and play Paris Campbell at wide receiver 2, full point PPR? Ooh. I did not know there was going to be heavy rain. I did not hear about that in Cleveland. So that does affect a little bit of Amari Cooper's production, obviously. But as far as putting him Paris Campbell over him, I don't know how I feel about that. Do you have anybody else on your bench maybe that you could start? Paris Campbell, he can boom sometimes, but recently he's not been very good. Vincent, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Paris Campbell. Usually, when he's hot, he stays hot for like 2 weeks. I know 2 weeks ago he got a 20-point game, but then I know this past week he didn't do so hot, if I'm correct, or it might be switched or something like that. But man, I still feel like Amari Cooper will get
Yeah.
his catches. He's a great receiver. Even if there's going to be heavy rain, I expect Amari Cooper to shoot break some ankles out there, honestly, and then Jacoby Brissett's just going to launch him up the ball. But I could also be wrong here. I don't know how heavy this rain's going to be, and I don't know how bad that field is going to be. But I think I still go with Amari Cooper. Yeah, if Paris Campbell is your best bet for replacing that wide receiver 2 spot, I think I would stick with Amari Cooper. But that's just me.
He says he also has Tyler Boyd. If you're really feeling not good about Amari Cooper, then I would say Tyler Boyd is a better a substitute than Paris Campbell, in my opinion.
Agree.
Yeah. So, but I still think you should write it out with Amari Cooper. Maybe we're wrong. We'll end up eating these words, but I still think he gets those catches. All it takes is one to put him above Paris Campbell or Tyler Boyd, because I don't think those guys are going to get that many points.
Yep.
KJ Frederick with another question. One foot start, Perrine, Deformant, or Tyler Boyd?
I think I'm going to go Perrine here, man.
Okay.
Perrine is the Bengals' backup running back. He had 30 freaking points last week on those 3 touchdowns for the Bengals. And Mixon is hurt. We just talked about this a little while ago, reading someone else's comment. D'Onta Foreman, he's not the guy anymore. They don't utilize him as much anymore, especially with Chuba Hubbard and those other guys healthy. Tyler Boyd, I've been looking at his stuff lately. He's only a 5-6 point guy lately, even though they've been playing good defenses or like easy defenses. So I think Samaje Perine is the guy to start here for sure. I think the Bengals ride the hot hand, and I think Perine will be able to run the ball effectively as well as be a good pass catching back. So Perine for me.
I like that, Vincent. I would agree with Perine. So KJ, I think your best start as far as your whole lineup is probably going to be, in my opinion, we both still think stay with Amari Cooper, slide Perine into that flex spot, keep Boyd, definitely keep Paris Campbell on your bench. But if you really want to, if you don't feel good about the rain with Amari Cooper, then slide Tyler Boyd into that role. Brars, this is back to when you told him to not get in trouble at work. He says that he's on his break, not getting in no trouble. Hey, good, man. But appreciate you tuning into us on your break. That means a lot. Honestly, like when I take a break, I'm going to either look at social media or like watch a video that's something I really enjoy. So I appreciate you choosing us. That means a lot to me. Lee, I remember you've come on the appreciate you coming back, man. I have Fields out. Oh man, who should I start, Matt Ryan or Taylor Heineke? PPR, these are terrible options. Yes, man, that is not the best situation. Fields being out has ruined a lot of people because a lot of people traded for him, like their whole house away. And now he's hurt, and who knows if he's going to be available the rest of the season. As far as Matt Ryan and Taylor Heineke, let me look at who they are playing. I know the Colts are playing the Steelers, and then
Taylor Heineke's playing the Atlanta Falcons.
I think I'm going to go Matt Ryan.
Ooh.
Hasn't Matt Ryan been a little hot recently?
I think he has. I think he's been one of those guys to be pretty hot. Taylor Heineke is a 15-point consistent guy no matter what.
He has not been that hot.
No, he has not. I think
he had 22 points 2 weeks ago, and this past week he had 8 points.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Taylor Heineke is the safe bet.
Okay, I'll go Heineke also.
Come on,
I thought he had a better week this past week.
We like him, man. We like Taylor.
I'm a big Heineke fan. All right, I'm a big Heineke fan. CB says, thank you guys. Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate you tuning in. Everybody that's watching live right now, We really appreciate you guys, seriously. Elite FC. He was saying when we were talking about
Somebody
T. Higgins and
Oh yeah.
somebody. So yeah, chase us out, mince us out. Make sure you guys move your lineups around. Yeah, you gotta be able to pay. You gotta pay attention to that stuff. But even without, they did play good against your Steelers. Yes, your Steelers have not been looking very hot, man. I'm sorry to tell you that, but yeah.
Hey, at least Najee's playing better.
Yeah. Dylan McKee, thank you for tuning in. Start Patterson or Foreman. Vincent, what do you think?
Ooh. I don't like both of these guys at the moment, but I think
What? You were the biggest
Patterson.
Patterson fan.
I know, until they started using that three-headed running back offense that they do. I thought Patterson was going to come back and be the Patterson of old last year. I thought he was going to come and get 20 points, 30 points, 25 points. But Patterson right now is a sub 10-point guy in a PPR league. They don't pass him the ball. They don't run it effectively for the Falcons. But also, Deontay Foreman hasn't been the guy either. They haven't been utilizing him. The Panthers, when they get behind, they just pass, and quick 4 and outs. But I think I still would ride with Patterson here. He is the guy who has the higher floor for me. I think right now Foreman the past 2 weeks has also had a floor of like 2 points. So that's not a guy you want in your flex position or your running back 2. So I think Patterson is a safer bet here. I think he will get about 9, 10, 11 points.
Yeah. I definitely would say Patterson is a better bet here. Yeah. This is KJ saying that he has Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Julie Crafter says, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. KJ Frederick says, thank you. Hey, man, you tune in every single week. We really appreciate you, KJ. If Lamar is playing average heading into fantasy playoffs and not putting up big points, should I stream a quarterback like Jared Goff or Mac Jones? Oh, boy. This is a big question here, man. Mac Jones? What has he been? What's he getting you hyped about Mac Jones?
I know that's what's getting
that
me.
One came out. That came out left field, man. What?
Like, has he been doing amazing and we just don't know about it? Like,
he did do. He put up good points this past week. That is true. I forgot. Even though he played terribly, in my opinion, because he took sack after sack after sack after sack, just holding on to that ball. But he did put up good fantasy points with 23 points. So, yes, but he has not been consistent at all. So, unless he continues to show that consistency and Lamar is playing average, then sure, yeah, start Mac Jones. But I don't see him keeping this consistent. Mac Jones is just not that guy. I used to be a Mac Jones fan. Not anymore. As Jared Goff, Vincent, how's he been doing recently?
Not the best. He did have a decent game this past week, or like just on Thursday when they played. 17.6 points, but I just don't like their schedules going into the playoffs. First week of playoffs, if you do play in week 15, he goes up against the Jets. That defense is tough to pass against with Sauce Gardner and company there. So I don't think you stream Jared Goff that week. If you're like are not happy with the way Lamar is playing, because he's been getting about 18 to 21 points averaging. So in my opinion, that's good for a quarterback, especially a top 5 quarterback, because he has the opportunity to use his legs and get up to 25 to 28 points if he gets a touchdown. Lately, he hasn't, but I just don't like Jared Goff and Mac Jones' schedules, man. I don't think if you're going to stream a quarterback, those are the guys to do it with. Yeah, I don't know. I personally have Lamar in one of my leagues where I'm trying to make a comeback to make it into the playoffs. I'm a game away, and so far my team is doing pretty good. So I think you just ride with Lamar, bro. You got to make up your points somewhere else in that flex spot, tight end position, defense. AJ every week on Tuesdays talks about the defenses to pick up. So tune in again like we know you will, KJ, and get those points somewhere else, because I think you should ride with Lamar the rest of the season for sure.
Yeah, unless he starts playing like absolute doo-doo.
Yeah.
The other options aren't that great. So stay with Lamar for right now. Abraham, I'm gonna head out, gents. Thank you all for the help. Hey, thank you, Abraham, for always tuning in, asking questions. We appreciate it. Ethan, do you think Jacobs will play? And I know the reports say Chase won't play, but do you think he's completely ruled out? And also, if Chase doesn't play, Lazard, Sutton, or Palmer? First off, do you think Jacobs will play? Vincent, do we have any updates on that?
He's talking about Josh Jacobs.
I'm assuming so.
I can go ahead and check. I know I did see a questionable tag on him, but that was yesterday. I haven't looked at it today,
All
so
right.
I will go ahead and check.
I know reports say that Chase won't play, but do you think he's completely ruled out? I think they're going to be smart with him. He's a young talent for the Bengals, and unless he wakes up Sunday morning feeling very, very good, I don't think they start him. So I think it's good to move on to your Nets. Best options was Lazard, Sutton, or Palmer. Out of those three, I don't like Palmer or Sutton too much. Lazard, yes, he's been seeing not as many points as of recently because Christian Watson having a incredible these past two games, but I do think Lazard has a good enough game. I say 10 plus points for Lazard. So if I think Lazard is a good choice here if Chase does not play, which I don't think he will.
Yeah, man. I think I will go with Lazard here. If Chase doesn't play, I think it's a high possibility that Chase does not play. I'm pretty sure they want him to come back 100% going farther into the playoffs. But it says the Raiders running back Josh Jacobs is questionable because of an ankle injury that he got on Friday during practice. So it says that he was a limited participant on Friday. With a calf injury. My bad.
Okay.
But I think if he's still practicing, even with that calf injury, I think he will be good to go against the Seahawks. As a Seahawk fan, I hope he doesn't go.
Whoa! You're wishing injuries upon
No,
people?
stay on the sideline and heal, man. I'm wishing death to the
No!
guy.
Wow!
But no, I think Josh Jacobs will play. He's a guy who literally will play through an injury. He did it last year. Kind of was bad for him, but Ethan, I think you should be good with Josh Jacobs. But yeah, if Chase doesn't play, I would go Lazard. Sutton is my close second, just because I don't think Palmer will reproduce the way he's been producing. But yeah, man, I think you're good with Jacobs. You shouldn't sweat too much, but definitely before they play, make sure you're looking to see with the injury updates.
I like it. Also, he says if Fields plays, Fields or Tua. So first off, I don't think Fields plays. He's really banged up right now, and I heard that before this happened, they were starting to limit his touches in practice, just because he's just that banged up. Really, he's been putting it all out there, and this is what's happened. But even if Fields was healthy, if you have both of these guys, which is incredible, if you do, great job to you, Ethan. That's awesome. But Tua and the Dolphins play the Texans, and Fields and the Bears play the Jets. It's matchups here. Both of these guys are dynamic and put up huge points, but it's matchups here. I'm going to go with Tua. So even if Fields plays, I think you got to start Tua.
Yeah, man. Even though the Texans have Stingley and some decent safeties, I think Tua will go off with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Even Jeff Wilson, he's pretty decent in the pass game too. I think Tua does just fine. So I think you're good without Fields if he doesn't play, especially since they will limit him. Like Reed said, they have been limiting him in practice. Tua is your guy. You're good here. Don't sweat it.
Yeah. Edward says, "Yo, Edward, yo, what's up, man? I think this is I don't remember your name, so I think this is your first time joining us. If that is true, make sure you hit that subscribe button and pay attention to all our stuff. We try to we go live every Tuesday with Fantasy Waiver Wires, and we try to go live on the weekend, give you your last minute fantasy advice. So make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned with all that stuff. And we also put up amazing content throughout the week, so stay tuned for that. But it says choose one: Godwin, Jeff Wilson, Rachaad White, or Boyd. This whole episode we've been talking about Rachaad White over Jeff Wilson. basically. We haven't been too high on Boyd. And then Godwin. I don't. What are your thoughts on Godwin, Vince? But right now, Rachaad White and Godwin are your two options.
Yeah, man. Right now, Godwin has been the number one wide receiver. Mike Evans has been taking a little bit of a back seat just because he's covered by pretty much the better cornerbacks, if you could say. But Godwin has been getting more points the last 2 weeks. I know Evans was coming off a little bit of an injury at practice and stuff like that, but he's still played. But Godwin right now is doing a lot better. So I definitely think Godwin for sure. But yeah, Rachaad White is a close second. He has that super high ceiling just because they're going to utilize him a lot more in that offense. But yeah, man, that's a good problem to have there too. But yeah, I would definitely start Godwin for sure.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go Rachaad White actually.
Ooh.
I think with him being the only with Leonard Fournette, I think he's gonna take a lot of the carries, and I think Rachaad White is a good start.
Yeah, I mean he's projected to get 13 points, so I would not disagree with you at all. But yeah.
All right. Michael Alexander. Do I play it safe with James Conner versus Chargers, or do I go Rachaad White against a bad Browns run defense?
You know, we love the risk taking here, especially if AJ was here, he'd be like, I'm feeling dangerous today, or something. He'd say something like that. He'd say, play Rachaad
Sounds
White.
like him. That sounds
Yeah.
like him.
So, in the spirit of AJ, I know he's watching that Michigan versus Ohio State game right now with his family. I would go Rachaad White. Be a little dangerous, be a little risky. Don't play it safe with James Conner, and you put Rachaad White in that starting lineup.
I like it. We've been starting with Rachaad White all episode. No matter basically any of the scenarios, I think definitely Rachaad White is a good start here. James Conner, you're gonna have to sit down 1 week, right?
Yep.
He says since this is the only one week where White is a great start. Hey, that's a good another reason. Hey, start him while it's hot. All right.
Exactly.
Ethan says, all right, thanks, guys. Hey, thank you, Ethan, for tuning in and asking us questions. We appreciate it. It keeps us going. We appreciate it. Groot in my what?
Oh, hey, man. Hey, respect, all right?
All right. You know? Groot in your pants says, pick two, Godwin, Juju, or Pittman. Juju, he's been playing.
I think he's questionable, though.
Yeah, but Tony's out.
That is true.
Yeah, and somebody else is out.
I can't remember who, but yeah, there is someone else out. Their running back is out. Their number one running back.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out.
Yeah.
So we got to bench one basically.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think if Juju is healthy, the way he plays when they don't have too much help. Besides
Juju is back, says Groot in your pants.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to go Godwin and Juju here. I'm not a believer in the Colts and Matt Ryan and Pittman. That connection hasn't been the best like we thought it would be, but Godwin for sure with Tom Brady is a good one, and Patrick Mahomes and Juju is a good one as well. My only thing is I don't know if Juju's going to get any touchdowns because Travis Kelce eats those things up for breakfast, my guy. But yeah, I think the safer bet here is Godwin and Juju. I don't think Pittman pops off at all.
All right. I'm so torn. It's like three different ways. The Pittman plays the Steelers, man, and we talked about earlier they're 31st against pass defense. So it's possible that even though he said he's gotten 12 points in the last two games, it's very much in his favor to have more than 12 points. And to sit 12 points, that is hard to go. Vincent, you got something you want to say I'm wrong?
Well, the thing is, hear me out, Reed.
Okay,
the last time he played a 30th ranked defense, he only got 9 points on 6 receptions.
I was going to ask you this question a while ago. Okay, all right, I'll go Godwin, Juju. I meant to ask you that question because I know you do that weird stuff where you look at this was a bad defense or bad defense and they played bad, even though it's a bad defense, they should play better. All right, I like that. Groot in your pants, Godwin, Juju, those are the people you should put in your pants. Yes, sir. Ahmed says, do I start Hollywood Brown, Traylon Burks, Darnell Mooney, or Pacheco? Darnell Mooney, definitely not. I think Fields is out this week.
Yeah.
Most definitely out, in my opinion. So I wouldn't start Mooney. Hollywood Brown, he's coming back from an injury, sharing the field with DeAndre Hopkins. I don't feel great about that. Traylon Burks, I think his incredible game last week was part of a fluke. He played great, whatever, but I don't like it too much. I don't think he repeats. Pacheco, he's running back one right now. In my opinion, I'll go Pacheco. Vincent.
Yeah, man, this one's a tough one for sure because I like Darnell Mooney when Fields was healthy, but now he's not healthy. And then Traylon Burks, they do go up against a weak pass defense, but I just don't see him producing like that anymore. He's not like what's his name from the Steelers. I forgot that rookie that's over there, but uh, I like Hollywood Brown if he's back and healthy for sure. But I think Pacheco is the safer start here. He's a guy who's at running back. They use him quite a bit now. So he's the guy that they want to roll with for sure. So my safe bet is Pacheco. But if Hollywood Brown is healthy, I think they could pass him the ball quite a bit, like kind of what they were doing with Rondo Moore when he was healthy as well. So Pacheco, safe. Hollywood, if he's healthy, dangerous.
It's so hard for me to like. Hollywood Brown's incredible wide
I
receiver,
know.
but DeAndre Hopkins gets so many targets. It's
True.
crazy. I turn away from the screen and I turn it back. It's DeAndre Hopkins. And I look away and I look back and it's DeAndre Hopkins. It's crazy, dude. Groot says he should start Hollywood. Hey, I think that's your next best option in my opinion over Pacheco. But I still stick with Pacheco. Mid says getting Mitt's reviews for my trade this week. I traded away Lenny, Miles Sanders, and Higgins for CMC and Njoku. I didn't have a tight end because Pitt's injury and all the streamable options have been rostered. I don't think that's bad.
Yeah, man. So here's what I gotta say about that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Vince.
Lenny's not the starter anymore. He's injured right now. But once they see what Rachaad White can do, they're going 50-50 at the most, or at the minimum, I'm sorry. If Rachaad White does extremely well, Lenny is not their guy anymore. Miles Sanders, he's taken a dip. Like I said earlier in this video, I'm not too sure if you were here, Yasir, but he's had 5 points in the past 2 weeks, or each week in the past 2 weeks. He's not being utilized in that Eagles offense because they are not playing like the Eagles offense of the first 8 weeks that we saw. They're not high powered anymore. Defenses are figuring them out. They're not the studs that they were before they lost, since they were undefeated before that. But Higgins, he was a guy that was lost there, but you got CMC and a position that you needed in Njoku. I can see people saying, "Oh, those are big names, man," and you only got CMC, who's a big name. Njoku's not even that good, but Njoku is one of the best tight ends right now. So for you to get him off of the Pitts injury, which I'm sorry, my guy, I had to deal with that too with Ertz as well as Goddard. But yeah, Njoku's not a bad guy to have because he does have the opportunity to get about 15 to 20 points, especially with a guy we don't like, Deshaun Watson's coming back. He's probably going to pass to him because Njoku is a fast, big tight end. But CMC, good job. I think the past 3 weeks he's been averaging 17 to 20 points. So he's definitely going to be a guy to help you. But I kind of like this trade. Lenny is on the down. Miles Sanders is on the down. Higgins was consistent for sure, but I'm pretty sure you had some good wide receivers for you to be able to trade with Higgins. So I think you're good, man. I think that was a pretty even trade because you need a tight end.
Yeah, always make your team better. If you have people that you're not using, that you're not starting, trade them away, make your team better. At the end of the day, if you're just trying to make your team better, that's all that matters. Groot in your pants says Juju is back. When we were talking about his other question, yes, he is back. Ahmed says my team now is Patty Mahomes, and then he continues later. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Patty, Dalvin, CMC, Amon-Ra, Keenan Allen, Hollywood, Njoku, Burks, Mooney, Pacheco, Pickens, Madison, Tyler Bass.
I like it. I like the Pickens guy. He's He was the one that I was talking about earlier for the Steelers, their wide receiver, the rookie. The past 2 weeks, he's had at least 15 plus points in a PPR. So I think he's definitely a steal off the waiver wire. Good job with that. Keenan Allen, I hope he comes back and does well. And oh man, you had him on Raw play. I know he got you
He
28,
got
29
28.
points.
It's good right now
Ooh,
if you're a Ron
yeah.
Raw owner.
Good job, man. I do like your team. I give it an 8.5 out of 10 currently, just because I've looked at some of the schedules for the playoffs, and you got some good players on there with good schedules. So you should be pretty good going forward. I like it.
I like it a lot too. Very good team. Green in your pants. Tony and Hardman are out. Yes, so Juju does have a chance to do good. Clint EZ says Jalen Waller or M Brown. I'm gonna go Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, especially against the Texans, my guy.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big game. Both him and Tyreek Hill, both of them. Living the dream says
Living the dream.
AK, Godwin, Najee. I need 2 of the 3. Who should I start? AK, who's that?
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. Okay, Godwin and Najee. So you got to sit one.
Ooh, man. I know you're probably gonna sit Alvin Kamara. So
No, I would sit Godwin here.
really, because Alvin Kamara, you said is going against the 49ers defense. So
That's true. I forgot about that.
I don't know, man. I like Najee right now. He's
I
the
think
guy
he's a start.
his floor is 15 points right now, which is insane because I remember in the beginning of the season, we're like, oh my God, he's only getting 10, 12 points. But now his floor is 15. So I think Najee for sure is your number one guy to start in that trio right there. I think I'm still going to go Alvin Kamara, man. I don't know. I just feel like when he plays against NFC West teams, he balls. Like every time he plays against the Seahawks, he balls out. And I know we don't have the best defense, so we can't compare to the 49ers, but I think he does pretty good. I think they utilize him well, but Godwin is a safe bet. So I'm going to go Najee and Godwin. But don't sleep on Alvin Kamara if you really feel like you should put him in.
I like it. Yeah, the biggest thing with Alvin Kamara is just his matchup with the 49ers this week. 49ers run defense, I think, is one of the best in the NFL. So you got to watch out with that one. But hey, both you living the dream and Clamped Easy. I don't think this is your first time in the chat watching the stream, so make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you like our advice, like what we're doing here. We try to do live every Tuesday and Saturday, and we also put out another Tuesday video at noon, all about fantasy, and then we do content, NFL content throughout the week. So make sure you guys subscribe, like this video at Not So Pro Football Talk, and we really appreciate that type of stuff. Broncio, hey, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, so I'm
Bronson,
not going to.
I don't know. We're gonna call you Bron.
Yes, Bronson. I think I need to pick a tight end off of waivers. Should I pick up Fant, Bray, or Disley, or Harrison Bryant?
Ooh, I haven't heard of Harrison Bryant in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I was like, whoa, I haven't heard that name. I think Disley.
Disley hasn't been the guy lately. Uncle Disley has not been the guy. It's been Noah Fant when we do utilize a tight end. I haven't checked up on him in a while because I watch every game. You know, Fant will have sometimes 60 yards.
The past 2 weeks ago, he had 14.6, and this past week he had 6.4. So it's not bad. Those are good tight end numbers.
Yeah, his floor is definitely like 5 points. So if you need a guy just to get you 5 points, Fant is the guy to go with. Cameron Brate, I'm not 100% sure how healthy
up him right now. He hasn't played a lot of games recently. But he played 2 weeks ago against the Seattle Seahawks. Only had 8 yards, and then this past week he was on a bye, and now he's going against Cleveland. And before that, when he was healthy, he was a wishy-washy type of tight end. Could have put up good points, could not. These aren't great options. I think your best option is going to be Noah Fant.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to. Can you search up Harrison Bryant for me, Reed? I haven't seen him or his name in a long time.
So you're just wondering why he brought him up.
Yeah, Because I feel like maybe he had 1 week where he did really good because of injury.
These past 2 weeks, he's actually been pretty solid. 2 weeks he had 10.5. He had a touchdown, 15 yards, and this last week he had 41 points. With oh no, not 48, 8.1 points, 41 yards, and 4 catches. So consistent past 2 weeks. Problem is Njoku is
Probably gonna come back and dip
yeah.
into that.
So that hurts Harrison Bryant. I think Noah Fant is your best option here.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to make sure, but yeah, Noah Fant, he's got you at the floor of 5 points, and just like Reed said, he could get up to 14 when he actually gets a touchdown. So
yeah,
pretty good.
He drafted Pitts and Waller in a 2 tight end league, so that's rough, man. That's rough.
Man.
I think. Yeah, I tried to steer people away from Pitts just because I didn't think he was going to do good, and now he's injured, so I'm even more right. And Waller has just been a huge disappointment. That's rough, dude. But we have reached the end of the questions. If you have any last questions, get them in. We're about to end, so hurry up, type those things out. Vincent, do you have anything to say before we end this video?
Yeah, man. Just I really, really implore all of y'all who have watched this video, if you are still here, look at the guys and their schedule going into playoffs. If you are a shoo-in for playoffs, which if you watch this show, you pretty much should be, because if you take our advice, we're pretty good at this stuff. We can't talk about it with our records because we give away all of our secrets to all of our friends in the leagues. So they steal all the guys off waiver wires and stuff like that. But just look at the ending of the schedule. People like Derrick Henry, Rachaad White, Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara, they have some of the best schedules going into the playoffs. So if you have those guys and you're feeling like, maybe I should trade them away, don't do it, because they have great, great, great schedules at the end of the year, especially if you're trying to make that playoff push into the championship game. And then for wide receivers, people like Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Chris Olave, all of the Bengals wide receivers, and Allen Lazard, they have some of the best last 4 weeks going into the playoffs. Their matchups are amazing. So just look at those matchups. If you can trade someone away like Amon-Ra St. Brown before the playoffs, do it. He goes up against 3 of the top wide receiver defenses going into the championship game. So he's not a guy who could possibly get a lot of points, but he also might defy the odds. Also, another guy is Justin Jefferson. He goes up against 3 of the top 10 defenses in those last 4 weeks, and the highest defense the lowest defense that he plays is ranked 12th. So all top 12 defenses in that last 4 week stretch of the playoffs. So just look at those last few weeks, and keep watching our show. We're going to tell you who's a good start, who's a good sit. So going into the playoffs, it gets a little rough, my guys. So if you have some of these studs, keep watching us.
I like it, fans. All right, there's been no other questions, so we're going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you guys for all who tuned in. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button, follow us on all the social medias down below on that ticker. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we're on TikTok. Check us out there. We're putting out all that stuff, and we're going to be releasing a giveaway soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can hear about all that stuff. And then tomorrow we will be releasing an Odell Beckham video. Where will he go? So make sure you guys tune into that. All right. Other than that, thank you guys for all that you do for us. And then go Pack Go and keep on grinding.